In Minecraft, you can tame multiple different creatures using many methods. But what I want to know is, what counts as taming? So let's cover the different types of taming and see which one is true taming. So we have the three classic pets, the wolf, cat, and parrot. When you tame them using their respective foods, they produce hearts and will follow you around. The wolf and cat each gain a collar to signal that they have been tamed. The only way you can tell that a parrot has been tamed is either by making it sit or simply moving. Next up is horse taming. All you need to do is sit on a horse a couple of times until hearts appear. Then put on a saddle and you can ride it whenever you want. The next taming method is by feeding a creature food first, then riding on them. You can do this with horses as well, but these creatures require you to feed them before you can ride them. After that, you just put a saddle on them, just like you do with a horse. The next one is the happy gas. All you need to do is find a dried gas in the nether, bring it back to the overworld, and put it in water for 20 minutes. The happy gas will become hydrated and then follow you around, but only in the baby stage. At least, it feels like that to me, as I often find my adult happy gas running away from me. They do come back if you hold a snowball, but still, it's very annoying. Anyway, the next taming method is the iron golem. All you need to do is get a bunch of iron blocks, then place a carved pumpkin on the top, and your iron golem will spawn. There's also the copper golem, which uses a similar method to the iron golems, except you don't need that many copper blocks. I am aware of foxes, but I don't consider them to be tamed, as they use a different system entirely, known as the trust system, so I won't be covering them today. Also, I didn't forget about the camels either. I just grouped them in with the ones who require food first before you can ride them, which may be incorrect. Forgive me for that error. Moving on, the pig and strider, I feel, don't count as being truly tamed either, as you can only get them to move using a carrot on a stick or a warped mushroom on a stick, respectively. So those won't be included as tamed creatures as well. That should be every taming method in the game so far. If I did miss one, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, time to discuss which one of these methods counts as true taming. Now, I will admit that this can be a bit subjective, so you do not have to agree with what I say here. But here's what I think true taming is and what it's not. I think that the method for taming the wolf, cat, and parrot are true taming, as these creatures will all follow you without laws and can be told to sit down. No other creature that you can tame does this. They all have to be lured or tied up using a lead. Sure, the happy gas does follow you willingly as a baby, but that's the thing, it only does that as a baby. Once the happy gas has grown up, it will not follow you anymore. Not until you tie it up or use snowballs. As to the creatures such as the horse, camel, and others like them, they only grant you the privilege of riding them, without having to use food on them again, so they aren't truly tamed either. The iron and copper golems aren't tamed either. You just created them, and they do their jobs without your help, most of the time. Therefore, allow me to come to this conclusion. If you cannot make something follow you willingly, or sit down whenever you want, it is not truly tamed. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you consider to be truly tamed. Is it the 3 pets you can have? Is it the rideable ones? Is it the constructs, such as the iron and copper golem? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.